Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 7 of the Road to Glory, here with Kyla Adams, and of course, Summit Wrestling. Alright, so let's get into booking our first show, but obviously we're into July now, the 1st of July, and as you can see, Steve the Cult is apparently Wrestler of the Year so far. And, I mean, I would probably have to agree with that. I mean, let's have a look at his match history here. It definitely looks really, really good. I mean, he's got a 100 there with Dwayne Stone. Lots of 99s. Dwayne Stone. Sean McFly, of course. So yeah, going up a little bit further, another Dwayne Stone. Yeah, Dwayne Stone. But up here, where is it? Right at the top, we got Tim Westybrook losing to Steve the Cult. So it's pretty interesting. Obviously, a popularity in Canada. You would sort of expect him to be pulling those types of ratings with how good he is in the ring. So, we left off last episode with a $5,500 profit for the month running 9 shows. That's pretty incredible. 2 more months of that, and we'll be back in the green, in the black, back in, a positive bank balance. However, the only issue with that is the economy is still falling. The wrestling industry is now falling as well. We sort of spoke about that, but that's gone down to a C+, and the economy is a D, and I mean, it's still kind of in free fall from where it was. So the finances, the profit, that we're making each month, it's probably going to slowly go lower and lower and lower until eventually it does bottom out and then start to rise again. So we'll run another month of 9 shows for July. So probably for this episode, we'll try and get through all of them. But the big issue is going to be how much lower the profit for this month coming up will be compared to last month. Again, we've got a couple of morale issues. Now, one thing I do want to do, I was reading the forum over on Greydogsoftware forums, the Road to Glory thread, and basically it says that, I'm not sure if this is 100% true, but someone on there said they got a fine for $50,000 because they went to small and they didn't upgrade their music. So it says it here. You will use well-known songs for entrance music and videos. It costs nothing, but it is illegal, and you run the risk of being caught and getting fined. The bigger the company becomes, the higher the risk. So basically, we're more or less using copyrighted music and not paying for it. Obviously, using copyrighted material is illegal. So that's where the fines actually come in. So we're going to upgrade that. Again, it's going to be another negative. It's going to cut down the profit that we'll make. $250 per show. Not exactly a lot. That's probably one worker, if that makes sense. One of the lower workers' wages per show. So it needs to be done. We can't really afford to take a hit of $50,000 because it would finish the series unless another company opened up that is either small, regional, or local. Actually, I think it's only small or local because I think if you get fired, you can only go to the same level that you're already at and lower. So anyway, enough about that. Let's advance here. We'll get into this first show. Again, we don't really have any issues. We've got a couple of irritated people. Felipe Caballero, our champion, and Cobra, I think, as well. So we'll book both of those guys on this show. It's going to be a little bit difficult to do that, but what we'll do is we can have let's do another triple threat match. I think that's a good idea. We'll have Kyla Adams, Felipe Caballero. And let's go with someone that we haven't used too often. I mean, the only one that actually is in here is Kid Fantastic, which is interesting. He's still an upper mid-carder, but he's really just not that good, which is strange at the fact that he's so high up the card. I think we'll use Takano as the road agent, and we'll give Felipe a title defense. Another defense for him. He's held the title for a little while, hasn't defended it too many times, considering how many shows we run. But yeah, usually I would probably only... I don't know what I'm saying. I would only make a title match more often than not on the bigger shows of the episode. We'll get into that in a second. We've got the next show name as well. But let's book another match. Actually, let's just do one match for Kyler Adams tonight. I mean, if you watched the last episode, you will have seen his stats and how much they've actually improved. It's pretty ridiculous, but he's already up to a B in psychology, B in charisma. I think I mean, let's have a look here. Have a look really quickly. But yeah, he got a B in safety as well, which is pretty ridiculous. C+ basics, C+ consistency. Got a C in selling, and we've also got a C+ in stamina. Just waiting for that star quality to go up 1 or 2 points, and I think that'd be pretty decent for the year. Yeah, it's going really well. Now 18 years old. Sorry, still 18 years old. Don't know what I'm saying there. Yeah, so this match, let's do Logan Wolfsbane and Avalanche Takano. I mean, this match has the potential to, I would say, beat the main event with the two wrestlers that are involved. I'm going to give Takano the victory as well. Yeah, that's going to be a really good match. We'll do one last match here as well with Cobra, and he can take on, yeah, Justice Yolson. And we'll give Cobra the victory. Just because he is upset. That's fine. We'll do 2 angles. We'll do our first angle for the main event. So we'll have Felipe, Kid Fantastic, and Kyle Adams. We'll do entertainment for all of them, I guess. Kid Fantastic, obviously, he's very young, similar to Kyler, but they both can't really talk on the microphone. And then we'll do another promo for Avalanche Takano and Logan Wolfsbane. And we'll put that at the start of the show there. Alright, let's run the show. Pre-book, no, we have not. So yeah, generic venue. And let's run the show. Alright, so we start off with a 37 D-. We got the angle between Logan and Takano. Not a bad angle to start the show off. We then go into their match, which gets a 36 D-. Avalanche Takano defeating Logan Wolfsbane in 940 by pinfall with a Mountain Takano. Both performers getting 36 for their in-ring performances. And we also have Logan improving in performance skills. We then go into a 29E. Not too bad, considering Justice is pretty bad in the ring. Yeah, Cobra defeats Justice Yolson in 10:06 by submission with a Viper Vice. No improvements. A 33E+ for the triple threat angle. No improvements, but that's perfectly fine. The match itself actually does pretty well. A 36 D- as well. Just getting that D-. But we have Felipe Caballero defeating Kyler Adams and Kid Fantastic in 1342 when Felipe defeated Kid Fantastic by pinfall with a Caballero drop. Felipe Caballero makes defense number 4 of his Summit North American title. But yeah, pretty disappointing. Both Kyler Adams and Kid Fantastic both off their games. And Felipe had a 41 in-ring performance. Very nice. Alright. To end the show, we get a 25E, which is pretty similar to the ratings we were getting last episode. Again, we're still getting penalized because of the production values. However, it's still enough for us to gain popularity, so that's perfectly fine. Yeah, not a bad first show of the episode, I would have to say. I'm surprised the main event got a D minus. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we used a lot more workers than we normally would. So I think we're going to cut back on that. Because we just lost money with that show. And we still need to be making money. So yeah, it's a little bit scary. We're up to 16 F plus, popularity in the Mid-South. But again, we need to continue to try and climb that. Hopefully get into the E's as soon as possible. But that scares me a little bit, that that negative, well, yeah, there's no profit in that show. So yeah, we'll get back to our normal ways of booking. Stick with the tag match and the double match for Kyler. I think we use Bob Casey as well, just to... Ooh, Erwin Gutman. He's definitely a person I would like to bring in. Doesn't really have the star quality, but as you can see, safety and consistency, along with his technical wrestling, very impressive. He's a negative influence though, so that's pretty frustrating. But he's, yeah. For some reason we can't sign him. Why can't we sign him? Is it the 34 power? Or is it the charisma? I actually forget what our owner goals actually are. Let's have a look. So 35 safety, yeah, 35 in charisma. That's what it is. Fair enough, okay. But yeah, Erwin Gutman's definitely a person I would like to bring in the future. Alright, we've got a couple of incidents here, but they're just wrestlers caught, which is good. Ooh, Marcel Lafleur improving his behavior there as well. And we'll give a... Where's Cobra? We'll rib Cobra. And it backfired. Of course it did. Probably got some more morale issues now. Anyway, let's book a generic venue as per usual, and let's book a normal show. Let's say normal. Who didn't we use? Let's use Samael. I'm a pretty big fan of him. I feel like once we actually become a proper regional company that makes profit, he could have a really good storyline. You know, I don't want to give too much away, but he could have a good storyline once we sort of focus on that a little bit more. But he can take on Gideon Kato. I think they can have a good match together, of course. 10 minutes. Kyler Adams to be the road agent. And you know what? We'll leave it blank. There we go. Obviously, the other match will do Bob Casey against Kyler Adams. Again, hopefully Bob's safety and consistency and selling will all be rubbed off. And yeah, Gideon Kato can be the road agent there as well. Kyler to get the victory. Hopefully he's not going to be a dick about it. No, he's not going to be a dick about it. That's perfect. And then the main event, let's actually use someone else, because we can have Bob Casey be the road agent. And basically it's just going to get someone else actually on the show. The question is, who will we use? Again, I want to use someone else that we haven't seen. Let's use Marcel. So Marcel and Kyla can team up, and they can take on TEW. And who was he versing? He was versing Samael. All right, there we go. And let's leave it blank. Let's leave it blank, see what happens. All right. Also do the angle, of course. So I have Kyla. And where is he? Marcel. Can Marcel speak? Kind of. And then TEW and Samael. Yeah, we'll go Menace. I mean, honestly, I think that tag team match is going to be relatively good. I might actually give another angle to these two at the start. Just rated on Menace. I think that'll actually do pretty well for Samael. He's definitely one that you can really get over pretty easily, I would say anyway, with his Menace. Put on the show. Starting off with a 52D+. That is crazy. The Menace angles, they're so useful at this lower level. I think that's our highest ever rating as well. So fair play. The match only gets a 32E+. Got Samael defeating Gideon Kato in 9:38 by pinfall with a Poison of God. A very nice finishing maneuver. Name, anyway. Moving on to a 23E-. We got Kyla Adams defeating Bob Casey in 10:29 by pinfall with a K-trigger. And then we got the 6th time penalty for the match. But that is fine. We then go into a 39D- for the tag team angle. And we also have Kyla Adams developing better performance skills. Perfect. The match itself doesn't do too well, getting a 31E+. We've got Gideon Kato and Samael defeating Marcel Lafleur and Kyla Adams in 12:54 when Gideon defeated Marcel by pinfall with a lariat. And apparently Samael was off his game there as well. To end the show, we get a similar rating of 24E, so 1 point less than the previous show. But again, we're sort of saving money, so it's fine. Alright, so let's check these mails. As you can see, we made a bit of profit on that show. Greg Gage is going to tour with BCG. That's pretty cool. How is he gonna do that? He's with Golden Canvas. That's in. I'm going to leave that in the emails. I want to see what happens. Are they still at war? Yeah, they're still at war. That's really weird. I do not understand how that has happened. That's strange. Very, very strange. In fact, let's have a look at some of the companies here. Just going through, I want to see if there's any booker jobs available. Obviously, you probably would get an email, perhaps. Tyler Adams right there. Yeah, so no jobs are available. Actually, if I go back in here, is there a filter thing? Potentially hiring. Interesting. Oh, so you can actually apply for these jobs. Ah, okay. That makes sense. That's an interesting thing to know. I mean, we can try for Golden Canvas Grappling, but I don't think they're going to give it to us. We can actually apply for it right now if we wanted to. Warrior Engine as well. They're only a small company. And then when you have European Wrestling All-Stars as well. So, yeah, I mean, all these companies except for Canadian Golden Combat. So, you know, we could apply. We could apply, but I'm not going to do that yet. I think the best strategy is to try and get to regional with Summit Wrestling and then sort of see where we're at. Possibly jump ship to a cult company, maybe even a regional company that's a bit closer to cult in their own, you know, sort of respect. Anyway, let's advance again. We'll try and get into another show here. I think I want to have Bob Casey wrestle Kid Fantastic because he really needs the consistency, the safety, and the selling as well. He also needs a lot of psychology, but again, he'll get that by working with Kyle Adams. So I still don't understand that. How does that work? Is it a touring contract different? I really don't know. Alright, we have a lot of issues at the moment now. A lot of issues. Again, I'm not going to really give these guys any money because we can't afford it, obviously. I mean, Christopher Ball. I mean, they're all irritated being left off shows, but I can only essentially use maybe 3 or 4 wrestlers a show. Alright, one more thing. Never mind. We'll do it after this show, is getting our big event for this month booked in to the schedule. Let's do our first match. We'll do Christopher Ball. He can take on Kyle Adams. Let's do it. AC to be the road agent. Obviously, Kyle is going to get the victory. And then for the other match, let's have... That's a tag match. Have Hawkeye Calhoun, and he can take on Seth Whitehead. We have done this match before. That's fine. We'll do it again. Seth to get the victory. And the main event. Again, we'll just put them all together. Do Hawkeye and Kyla taking on Seth and Christopher Ball. I have a feeling this show is going to be relatively bad. Just due to the fact that we're using both Hawkeye and Christopher. Let's leave it blank. I want to see what happens. Kyla lost the last match due to, well, sorry, due to me leaving it blank. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. If he loses another one, that might take a bit of a hit to his popularity. It's looking quite difficult to gain popularity at the moment. Anyway, do the angle for the main event. Hawkeye can speak. So can Christopher as well. All right. And that other angle between Christopher Ball and Kyle Adams can kick off the show. All right, let's run another show, get it over and done with. Starting off with a 34E plus. Not too bad. Between Kyla and Christopher. Their match gets a 29E. Again, Christopher Ball getting the crowd penalty. We have Kyle Adams defeating Christopher Ball in 9:43 by pinfall with a K trigger. Only getting a 17 in-ring performance there. Oh, that is bad. That is very, very bad. Oh, I regret everything. I regret using Christopher Ball. Kyla Adams sustained a cracked tailbone in this match. Damn it. Alright. Moving on to a 33E+. We've got Seth Whitehead defeating Hawkeye Calhoun in 10:27 by submission with a Minnesota stretch. We then go into the angle, getting a 36D- between all four members of the tag match. And the main event gets a 30E+, with Seth Whitehead and Christopher Ball defeating Kyla Adams and Hawkeye Calhoun in 12:43, when Seth Whitehead defeated Hawkeye Calhoun by submission with a Minnesota stretch. I can't believe he's injured. Oh, it's so annoying. We do have work improvements here, though. Seth Whitehead improving in rumble and performance skills, and then Kyla improving in performance skills there as well. Overall show rating getting a 22E-, and Christopher Ball was used too much. Shouldn't have even used him at all. Damn it. Okay, please don't be a bad injury. I mean, cracked tailbone, that sounds relatively bad. I'm assuming he's still working through it. Yeah, so he's currently working through a cracked tailbone. What I'm going to do in that case is I'm going to have him on the show, but just running angles to try and help his entertainment skills. I mean, they're doing really well. But I just don't want to risk the injury getting worse. And of course, we run so many shows that it, there's a potential for his resilience to go down. So I want to check that. Let's check his resilience. And just double check that it hasn't actually gone down. Still 100 A-star, so that's good. Definitely a positive. Alright, check the popularity. Alright, so the importance has gone up to 16 to match the popularity, which is good. But again, we're probably not going to win the regional battle. So we will be penalized. Which does suck, but at the same time, I mean, there's nothing we can really do about it at this stage. We're still climbing out of our debt. All right, let's book in this other event, the big event for this month. Of course, last episode was the Peak of the Summit tournament. Now, first winner, if we go in here, as you can see, it was Kyle Adams winning the first ever tournament. Very fitting. And I'm pretty sure I left that blank. I mean, I recorded that episode a few days ago, or a couple of days ago. I'm pretty sure I left it blank, and he did win it on his own, so pretty impressive. Anyway, back to the schedule. At the next event, I mean, Betrayed actually sounds like a relatively good name for a show. Alright, so our next event. Now this one, it does relate pretty heavily to Denver, obviously the capital of Colorado, where Summit Wrestling is based out of. But we have the Battle, if I can spell it correctly, the Battle for Lodo. Now what Lodo is stands for Lower Downtown of Denver, and it's a pretty integral area from what I've heard and what I've read about Denver. So yeah, the battle for Lodo sounds pretty good to me, and I like how it sounds as well. So there we go. So July's event, the battle for Lodo. Obviously, our generic venue will be based out of the lower downtown area, so it works out pretty perfectly. And that will be coming up at the end of this episode, I would say. As long as we can, continue to push through, I should say. Alright, so we're going to have some non-Kyle Adams wrestlers taking part in tonight's show. Let's go with... I almost went to Kyle Adams straight away. That's pretty funny. Austin Smooth, and he can take on Canadian Crusher. They verse each other in the tournament, so that's fine. They can verse each other again. Actually want to give Canadian Crusher the victory. And Austin won't do that. So let's leave it blank. See what happens. Next match we'll have... Who will we have? Justice Yolson, and he can take on Logan. I think that's a pretty good match as well. We'll give Logan the victory in this one. And then the main event will be the tag match. We'll have Austin and Logan teaming up, take on Canadian Crusher and Justice Yolson. They have a very alliterated name. The double C's and the double J's. I like it. Could be a possible tag team between these two. They're actually very large competitors. I mean, you can see the veins popping out of Crusher's neck. And I mean, Justice has veins popping out of everywhere, so... Yeah. Gonna give the victory to Austin, just in case Yolson can be the loser. There we go. Angles, we're gonna have Kyle Adams, taking on... Not taking on, but cutting a promo with Austin Smooth. Setting up another match for them down the line at some stage. I can kick the show off. And then we'll have another angle with Tyler cutting a promo with Logan Wolfsbane. That can go after the show. And then we'll do one more angle if we can actually fit it in. And that will be the members of the tag team match. Now these two are going to be menace, aren't they? Definitely. Well, his menace is so good. Justice has very, very, very good menace. Alright. We can actually do that many angles. That's perfect. Alright, let's run the show. Starting off with a 43D. Wow, that's really good. Okay, I like it. Hopefully that'll help their popularity. And then go into a 33E+. Austin Smooth defeating Canadian Crusher in 10:27 by submission with a smooth hold. And then go to a 28E. Got Logan Wolfsbane defeating Justice Yolson in 11:25 by submission with a Boston Crab. Apparently they both have great chemistry, and it showed in their performance. Logan with a 40 in-ring performance there as well. Pretty incredible. Bit of a lack of flow. I mean, they both have relatively low psychology. The tag promo getting a 44D as well. I would assume that's due to the menace helping these two guys out. Sorry, helping these two guys out with the rating. The main event gets a 35E+. Austin Smooth and Logan Wolfsbane defeated Canadian Crusher and Justice Yolson in 1308 when Austin Smooth defeated Justice Yolson by submission with a smooth hold. And we also have Logan Wolfsbane improving in performance skills. We then go to a 42D. Another really strong promo, to be fair. Strong angle. I'm starting to think that it might actually be Kyler Adams. He's just got up to D's for microphone and acting, but then his charisma and star quality. Star quality is still 75B- where it started, but charisma's over at 80B, I think. So he's starting to do some work, especially on the microphone, which is great. Considering I think we started at 15 for microphone and acting, so he's come a long way already. But this is going to pre-book a match for the Battle for Lodo. So we'll pre-book that one in. Kyler Adams taking on Logan Wolfsbane. Should be, hopefully Kyler will actually be ready for that one. Let's end the show. We get a 26E, so 2 points above. We got penalised for using Logan Wolfsbane too much as well. Probably should be an upper mid-carder. Anyway, I think that was a really good show. I mean, the angles really did some work, I would say. I mean, we had, what, 3 Ds? The angles? Ah, so there we go. Greg Gage leaves Golden Canvas. That's so strange. He signed a touring contract and essentially screwed himself out of his paper appearance to go to Black Canvas on a touring contract. I mean, I suppose he's a main eventer there. It was only upper mid-card. I mean, he is definitely someone that I would like to get in once we're able to afford people. He could definitely help Tyler become a much better wrestler. Alright, let's continue to advance. Again, we want to try and get through this month on this episode. But if you haven't already, make sure you smash the like button, guys. We really appreciate that. You guys have been showing so much incredible support. And I have to say that I'm thoroughly impressed, grateful, and honestly, I'm just happy to see people really enjoying this series because you can probably tell I'm enjoying playing it. And it's even got me to the point where I'm thinking about playing this Road to Glory when I'm at work every day, pretty much. Which I think is very weird, but at the same time, it's pretty cool as well. Obviously, I'm not telling anyone about it. It's kind of a strange thing to say to people, oh, I play a wrestling-based sort of text game where I book everything. Most people wouldn't even understand what I would say, what I would be saying in that sort of scenario. But you guys enjoy it. And that's the only thing that matters, really. Alright, so let's book another show. We'll go with a couple of originals here. We'll have Cobra take on Kid Fantastic. We'll leave it blank. We'll leave it blank in regards to the winner. The other match can be a non-title match. Felipe taking on Marcel Lafleur. Really wish I could use Kyler. I feel like this is sort of slowing down the development. And the tag match can be Marcel and Kid Fantastic taking on Cobra and Felipe. And I think I'll give the win to Marcel. Bit of a strange one, but I think it kind of works itself out. Now, again, with the angles, we'll give a few angles to Kyler. He can cut an angle on... That's not a bad idea. Let's do Felipe. Of course, they've already had a bit of a rivalry between each other. And then we can have Kyler putting a promo on Marcel. That can go at the end of the show. And then we'll have one more angle with the members of the tag team main event. Have Cobra and Felipe cutting a promo on Marcel. And it was Kid Fantastic, wasn't it? I think it was anyway. Yes, it was. All right. There we go. Let's make sure we genericked it. Yeah, we did. Okay. Here we go. Starting off with a 40 D-. The promo between Kyler Adams and Felipe Caballero. Of course, Kyler just basically saying that, you know, he won the tournament, so he is allowed a singles title match at some stage for the North American title. Felipe accepts and respects the fact that he won the Peak of the Summit tournament. We then go into a 28E. We got Cobra defeating Kid Fantastic in 9:42 by submission with a Viper Vice. A couple of work improvements here. We got Cobra in performance and Kid Fantastic improving in performance skills as well. All right, next match getting a 37 D-. We got Felipe Caballero defeating Marcel Lafleur in 10:08 by pinfall with a Caballero drop. All right, we then go into the angle, which gets a 35 E+. Any improvements? No. Moving on to the main event. Does pretty well. 37 D- there. Kid Fantastic and Marcel Lafleur defeating Cobra and Felipe Caballero in 13:25 when Marcel defeated Cobra by submission with a Parisian chicken wing. And we also have Kid Fantastic again improving in performance skills. Okay, this angle didn't do too well. 34E+. We've got Kyler Adams cutting a promo on Marcel Lafleur. Probably should have swapped those two promos around, or the two angles. Overall show rating, another 26E for this one, which is good. We also use Marcel Lafleur too much on the show by putting in that extra promo there. All right. So we'll keep going. We're down to 4,000 in the negative, which is really good to see. And we're also up to 17 F+ popularity in the Mid-South. Perfect. All right, let's book another show. Almost into week. Interesting. I guess that's just the sponsorship money coming through. Yeah, one more uprising and then we're into week 4 of July. Felipe improving his behavior, which is good, positive impact. Again, we'll go with the same venue. I mean, Kyler's still not back fit yet. Yeah, still currently working through it. I mean, do I just risk using him? But maybe keep it simple for him? I don't know, it's pretty risky. Anyway, we'll go with Avalanche Decano, and he can take on... Who can he take on? Let's go with Seth Whitehead. That's got to be a pretty good match. I'm going to make it the main event. And we're going to leave it blank as well. The next match, we will have... Who will we have? Let's have Gideo taking on Hawkeye Calhoun. Gideo to get the win. And then we'll do the tag match as well. But I think we'll run the tag match at the start of the show. So we'll have Seth teaming up with Gideo, and they can take on Takano and Hawkeye. Who will get the victory? Let's go with Takano on Gideo. Alright. Book our angles. The first angle will be the tag match. So we'll have Gideo and Seth. And then Hawkeye and Avalanche. All rated on entertainment. Put that at the start of the show there. And then we'll have another angle. Between Seth and Avalanche. I was going to use Menace for him, but I mean, his entertainment skills are just as good. And then finally, after that, we'll have Seth in an angle with Kyla Adams. Actually, let's have... Yeah, I mean, I was gonna put Felipe in there as well, but that doesn't really make a lot of sense. It's gonna cost us Felipe's wages. All right, there we go. Let's run the show. I want to check that Avalanche is... All right, we need to make him an upper mid-carder. All right, there we go. Let's run the show. Should be a pretty good one, I think. We start off with a 35E plus for the tag team angle. Not great. The match does pretty well though, 36D minus. Avalanche Takano and Hawkeye Calhoun defeating Seth Whitehead and Gideo Kato in 9:34 when Avalanche Takano defeated Gideo by pinfall with a Mountain Takano. Pretty good starting match. Probably should have been the main event. I'm hoping the main event will do better. We then go into a 28E. We've got Gideo Kato defeating Hawkeye Calhoun in 10:24 by pinfall with a lariat. And we also have Gideo improving in performance skills. Okay, the angle does really well between Seth and Avalanche Takano, getting a 42D. Interesting. We then go into there we go, the main event, getting a 41D. Seth Whitehead defeating Avalanche Takano in 12:32 by submission with a Minnesota stretch. And we also have Seth improving in performance skills. Perfect. Really good main event. And the final angle gets a 38D minus between Seth Whitehead and Kyle Adams. continuing the storyline as well, which is good. Overall show rating getting a 28E, so a couple of points above the recent shows. All right, that was our last show of week 3. Seth needs a bit of a rest, but that's perfectly fine. And we're getting closer and closer to not being in the red. I think it said 2,600. So close. It just goes to show, if you do stick with this strategy of running so many shows with a somewhat decent wrestling industry, you can gain popularity enough to outweigh the negatives. All right. Oh, we have a new friendship. We got Justice Yolson and Austin Smooth. All right, so as you can see, $1,368 negative. We are super close. I mean, it looks like we're making a hell of a lot of money. It's already up to 7,500, and we lost money on that first show. Interesting. That's really weird. I have to say, it's a bit strange. It seems like we're going to make more money this month. Obviously, our popularity's gone up, so I'm assuming that has a lot to do with the fact that, you know, it's going to mean our attendances are a little bit higher as well. I mean, a lot of my ribs are just backfiring at the moment. Again, we still can't really use Kyler. I mean, it's kind of getting frustrating now. I really wish that he didn't have a cracked tailbone. It's interesting that it wasn't actually a botch by Christopher Ball. So maybe I should give the guy another match. What's his safety? Pretty low. Pretty low. Maybe he was at fault. But let's give him a match against Bob Casey, I think, is the perfect one for him to wrestle. Tyler to be the road agent, of course. Bob to get the victory. And the other singles match, let's go with Samael taking on Felipe Caballero. Main event, 13 minutes. Gonna give... Do I want to do that? No, I don't want to give him... I don't know. Popularity's still only 18. Let's do it. Samael to get the victory. Wow. That's a big match. And then the tag match will have Felipe teaming up with Bob Casey, take on Christopher Ball and Samael, the accuser. Never mind. We'll change that around. We'll have Felipe and I guess Christopher Ball, and they can take on Bob Casey and Samael, the accuser. And we'll have Felipe pin Bob Casey. He does not like the booking of the match. Well, guess what, mate? You're losing anyway. Alright, book our angles. Again, we're going to go with Felipe, Christopher Ball, Bob Casey, and then Samael. Alright, so there's the tag team promo. Then I think we'll do a Samael promo with Menace onto Felipe. Basically him saying that he's going to beat him tonight, and if he wins, he wants a title shot at some stage in the future. I think it's going to be a really good angle. Obviously, the Menace is going to be pretty incredible. And then finally, we'll have Kyla Adams cut another promo onto Felipe as well. To end the show. There we go. Run it. Starting off with a 44D, the tag team members promo. The tag team match getting a 33E+. Interesting. We've got Felipe Caballero and Christopher Ball with excellent chemistry when tag teaming together. But obviously the crowd still don't really like Christopher Ball at all. Yeah, no work improvements there, but we also have Felipe getting a 44 in-ring performance. The guy is incredible. Moving on to a 24E. We've got Bob Casey defeating Christopher Ball in 9:45 with a roll-up. We then got a 51D+ Menace promo from Samael onto Felipe. Their match does relatively well, getting a 39D-. Of course, you know, non-title match. Samael defeating Felipe Caballero in 13:30 by pinfall with a Poison of God. And then we move into a 45D rated promo with Kyla Adams cutting another promo onto Felipe Caballero. Again, continuing the storyline between, well, Kyla Adams and Seth Whitehead, albeit, you know, they are linked together, Felipe and Seth. Yeah, that's a really good promo. And the show getting another 28E, so a little bit more consistent. Samael was used too much. Again, probably should have made him an upper mid-carder. That was a good show. What was it? A 52D+, so that's 1 point off a C-. It's a very, very good rating. Man, I really, really want Kyla to get back to be fit. Oh, it's so frustrating. Oh, we are positive. Our bank balance is positive. $202. We've finally done it. We're finally out of the red, into the black, and we finally got some money to spend. And we're also up to 15 F+ importance, matching our popularity as well. Good stuff. But we've still got, what, 2 more shows to run for this month. So, I mean, it's looking like a good month. It is definitely looking like a good month here for Summit Wrestling. The only negative, Kyla has not really wrestled a lot this month. So the stats at the end of the episode, they're probably not going to be too improved compared to what they were last episode, even though you won't be able to really make a comparison. But yeah, there's only going to be 1 or 2 skill increases in certain stats. So obviously the entertainment stats, we'll have a look at that at some stage as well. But it's not going to be very good. All right, let's book this show as well. Let's go with Cobra, and he can take on. Who can he take on? Hideo Kato. Will we get a penalty? That is the question. I think we'll probably get a penalty. Oh, no penalty. Okay. Not too bad. The other match we'll go with... Let's do the big boys. Justice Yolson taking on Canadian Crusher. I mean, it's not going to be a very good match, but I mean, it's pretty interesting. We'll leave it blank. Curious to see who will win, or who the AI thinks should win. And then the tag match, the two big boys can team up, and they can take on Greydogsoftware and Cobra. All right. The winners of this match, we'll give it to Cobra. I mean, it doesn't actually matter who loses either. There we go. Let's do a tag promo. Cobra and Greydogsoftware. And then Canadian and Justice. Menace. Then we also... Cobra, is he upper mid card? He is, okay. So we'll have Tyler Adams cut a promo on Cobra. That can go at the end of the show. Or the start of the show. We'll go the start. Yeah. That's good enough. We'll run that show. Nice and quick. Alright, so we start off with a 39D- for the promo between Kyla and Cobra. We then go into a 32E+ rated match. Greydogsoftware defeating Cobra in 9:46 by pinfall with a lariat. We then go into a 24E. I knew this one was... Oh, they have good chemistry. That's pretty cool. Canadian Crusher defeating Justice Yolson in 9:35 by pinfall with a full Nelson slam. Similar in-ring performances, so that's interesting. And like I said, pretty good chemistry as well. We then go into a 40D- tag team promo. Or tag team angle. Main event not doing too well, only getting a 30E+. Cobra and Greydogsoftware defeating Canadian Crusher and Justice Yolson in 13:22, when Cobra defeated Canadian Crusher by submission with a Viper Vice. We also have Justice Yolson improving in performance skills. And the show getting a 23E-, so a lot worse, but again, we kind of knew that it would be a little bit worse using both Canadian Crusher and Justice. Not the greatest. All right. Ooh, Samael's unhappy with the push. Has his popularity gone up? It has, but it kind of hasn't as well. Still only an 18. I don't know why. There must be some reason as to why it's pretty much capped at the moment. But 1,200, we made about $1,000 from that show, $1,000. Which is nice, very nice. Casey's still working for free, even though we're probably not going to use him. Because obviously pay per appearance, no downside. I mean, he does have travel cover, which is annoying. I'm assuming, I want to have a look. Do these guys have travel cover? No, they don't. Only seems to be Casey. Which is, I guess, understandable, seeing as he is the owner of the company. Let's give everybody an auto push. Just want to have a quick look through our roster. Avalanche Chicano, lower mid-carder. I don't think so. I mean, ball's an opener. That's understandable. But what? Our champion is a lower mid-carder in his push. I mean, he lost to Samael, but surely it wouldn't destroy his popularity that bad. I mean, he went from an 18 down to a 17. which is essentially 1 grade lower. So weird. Very, very strange. Kyler's dropped down to an upper mid-carder as well, losing that 1 popularity rating. Ooh, opener now for Marcel Lafleur as well. Samael, main eventer. That's understandable. And then Seth is also a main eventer. Interesting. Okay, we've got the battle for Lodo. Unfortunately, I'm guessing Kyler is going to miss this event as well. Yep, still working through the injury. We do have that match pre-booked in, so we're going to have to delete that, unfortunately. Logan and Kyler Adams. However, our main event is sorted for tonight. Samael getting his title shot for beating Felipe. And he's going to be rewarded with a North American title shot. Alright, so let's book that in. Felipe and Samael. 15 minutes. And then, yeah, that's going to happen. Need to put the title on the line as well. So that's going to happen. The other match on the card will go with Logan taking on... Who can he take on? That's a good question. Maybe Gideon? I don't know. I don't know who to do. Let's do Austin. Pretty sure they verse each other. They've never versed each other. Okay. Give that 13 minutes. And I'm going to leave it blank. That's pretty cool. That's a good match. Do I want to do the tag match? I mean, let's use someone else. So we'll just do another singles match. We'll have Kid Fantastic take on Bob Casey. Bit of a throwaway match, but again, it's only going to help Kid Fantastic develop. Alrighty. Angles. Samael to cut a promo on Felipe again. Menace. I have another angle here with Tyler Adams cutting a promo on Felipe. Then we'll have an Austin Smooth promo. Or a Logan Wolfsbane promo. I mean, either way. They can both be rated on entertainment. Probably makes the most sense. Alright, there we go. Let's run that show. Really nice show, I think. So, the battle for Lodo, here we go. Starting off with a 27E. We've got Bob Casey defeating Kid Fantastic in 10:03 by pinfall with a roll-up. No improvements. We then go into a 39D-. Promo between Logan Wolfsbane and Austin Smooth. Their match also gets a 39D-. Very good. And they also have pretty good chemistry. But we do have Logan Wolfsbane defeating Austin Smooth in 12:40 by pinfall with a belly-to-belly suplex. And Austin actually had a better in-ring performance. Interesting. Moving on to a 54 C- promo from Samael the Accuser. And the match itself gets a 38 D-, so 1 point lower than the previous match. We have Felipe Caballero defeating Samael the Accuser in 14:57 by pinfall with a Caballero drop. And then Felipe has makes defense number 5 of his Summit North American title. Couple of work improvements as well. We got Felipe improving in performance skills and Samael improving in rumble skills. We end the show off with a 42D rated angle, of course, with Kyla Adams and Felipe Caballero. Building towards the next event. At the end of next month. Alright, let's make a speech. We'll go with Felipe, Samael, and then I think Austin Smooth as well. Alright, so we'll praise those 3 guys. I think they might have all had morale issues, so hopefully that will help them all a little bit. Ooh, we're up to an 18 E-. However, that might drop back down to a 17 if we lose the regional battle, which we probably will. Yeah. Anyway, let's advance one day, and we'll see how much money we actually made in the month of July. I'm very curious. I think it's going to be 8,000, maybe 9,000? 10,600. Oh my goodness, that is a lot. And there you go. Finished last out of 3 in the Mid-South. Ooh. Now that's interesting. Head booker of L-Ring. They're in Hawaii, though. That's the only real problem I see with that company. Hawaii has the worst. If I go to regions here. So if you go to the importance, as you go down, Hawaii is at 69% and has a very small community size, which means you're not going to get a lot of fans to your shows, and then you're going to need a lot of popularity to reach certain levels in importance. So, not very good. I mean, they have a lot of money. I know that from previous saves. We go to the mail here. They're only a local company, but they have an incredible amount of money, which is pretty ridiculous. The real question is, do I really want to leave? I probably don't, if I'm being honest. So we won't apply for that one. Anyways, that is going to be it for this episode, guys. Please make sure you drop a like if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you aren't a subscriber yet. And as always, guys, take it easy. And I hope you enjoy the ending stats here.